Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with journalists, collegiate and professional athletes, and other radio hosts. Be sure to check out past interviews at www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722. Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and I'm now joined by 2014 NFL Draft prospect, cornerback out of Utah, Keith McGill. Thanks for joining the show, Keith. How's it going?
Going pretty good, thank you.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine. So we're going to be talking about your football career. I want to start this interview off by throwing out the fact that before you attended Utah, you actually attended Cerritos College and played free safety throughout the 2 years you were there, and you put up 67 tackles and 12 interceptions. After that 2010 season, you were one of the top players coming out of junior college. I'm curious, why did you decide to attend University of Utah? I can't think they're the only Division I school interested in you, were they?
No, they weren't. And, I just sat down with my dad and went over the whole process, went over the coaches, and I was just looking at who was going to get me most ready to go to that next level, and we decided that it was Utah. I was able to stay close to home, with them joining the Pac-12 that year, and we just thought it was the best fit for me.
Here it is, the 2011 season arrives, and you're playing safety for the Utah Utes, and it's the fifth game you've played. You suffer a shoulder injury, which caused you to miss the remainder of the 2011 season and the entire 2012 season. Well, I'm curious, what were some things you were doing during that time off to get that shoulder back to strength and to better your game, and make sure you're ready for this past season, the 2013 season?
Well, just as far as getting your strength and back up, and they have a program up there for that, but it was mostly just understanding that I was healthy again and getting that confidence back and trying to play back to the level that I was playing at before the surgery. Utah training staff, they do a great job with the athletic rehab that they have going on up there, and I was in there multiple times a day, strengthening it up and getting it stronger and getting it looked at with the doctors and making sure that everything was good. So it was mostly just getting my mind right and understanding that it was back ready to go, and that I was ready for that next season.
All right, now after not seeing any game time action for a long time due to that injury, what were your personal expectations for this past season, knowing that it'll be your final year eligible to play college football?
Well, first of all, making that transition from safety to corner, that was the biggest thing in my head, and just trying to buy into the technique and trying to understand that the coaches wouldn't make the change for me if they thought that it wasn't going to work out for me or the team. So going into the season, I just wanted to do as best as possible. I just wanted to do as best as possible as far as just making myself happy along with the team and the coaches, and understanding that the corner move or the corner transition was going to be the best fit for me and the team.
Mm-hmm. Now, you just like you said, you certainly impressed this past season as you started all 12 games at cornerback, not safety, cornerback. You recorded 37 tackles, 12 pass deflections, and an interception. How did you take that news, hearing that you'll be changing from safety to cornerback? Were you all right with that?
That first day I was kind of happy just because, making anybody switching a position would, kind of think, oh, this is only for a day or maybe two, but, a year later, it kind of hit me because I was there, not only for spring ball, fall camp, but I was also there during season. So, just making that transition, like I said, it wasn't the easiest transition because we're a predominantly man team, but it wasn't hard either because, like I said, the coaches knew I can do it, and it was just finding the confidence in me and understanding that the move was best for us.
Now, Keith, you mentioned that you made the decision to transfer to Utah because you felt that would give you the best opportunity to play at the next level in the NFL. Before this past season, did you have any idea or even think that you would have a chance to play in the NFL, let alone be one of the top cornerbacks entering the draft?
No, honestly, I didn't. I wasn't really thinking about the NFL going into the season. I was just thinking, we got to get better as a team. And, we ended up with the same record as the year before, 5-7, which wasn't the best record, but I did learn a lot that season. We did battle a lot. One of our, obviously, highlights of the season was beating Stanford, and, it was just getting a good bond with the team. I really wasn't thinking about the NFL. I was mostly just thinking on trying to win, and it really hit me when I got the Senior Bowl invite and some other All-Star game invites. It started hitting me that, you know, even though we're not having the best season, maybe I'm doing something to open up people's eyes, whether that's my size or if that's what I'm doing on and off the field. So that's when it really hit me.
Chris Shanfield talking with 2014 NFL draft prospect, cornerback out of Utah, Keith McGill. Keith, you mentioned the All-Star game. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like to spend some time in Mobile, Alabama about a month ago with other NFL draft prospects from all types of different schools to participate in the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, you know what? Going into the Senior Bowl was a great experience. Not only did we meet with other teams and other players, but we also got to meet with the coaches and just understanding that we're no longer in college and we're no longer competing against each other. Now we have to come together, whether that was somebody from LSU, Alabama, or even BYU. We had to come together and get that victory, and that's what we did. And we weren't really looking at what the guys had on their helmets. We were just looking at what the other team's doing to prepare to get their win. And so we just tried to outwork them all year, and it was a great experience with those guys.
And just a few weeks ago, we had the 2014 NFL Combine where you continue to make a name for yourself, Keith. You ran a 4.51 40-yard dash and had a 39-inch vertical along with a 129-inch broad jump. How do you feel you performed? Are you satisfied with the numbers you put up?
I'm not really satisfied with the numbers. You know, the Combine is a process, just along with the Senior Bowl. It's just something that you had to go through. You know, we were there 5 days before we were able to do any on-the-field work, so I just felt like my body was really drained and tired. And actually, my pro day is going to be coming up here on the 19th, and I'm actually going to redo everything. I feel like I can get all my numbers a little better than what they were. And I've been training over the past couple weeks since I got back from the Combine to try to make that happen.
Sounds good. Now, of course, there's hundreds and hundreds of scouts that both attended the Senior Bowl and the NFL Combine. Were you able to meet with any of them, and if so, what are they saying about you?
You know, they were just saying that I was a big guy. You know, I was a rare breed, and you know, I've kind of heard that my whole life. So there really wasn't anything new. I was just trying to get advice from them on what they want to see, what they want me to do, and what they expect. And you know, I talked with a lot of the teams and a lot of the coaches, and you know, at the end of the day, you know, I just want to get better with my whole game and anything else that I'm able to improve in life.
All right, Keith, just a few more questions, then I'll let you go, man. I really do appreciate your time. If you would compare yourself to a cornerback currently playing in the NFL today, who do you think that would be and why?
I don't really have one corner that I'd compare myself to, just because this is the first year I've ever played corner, so, you know, I'm kind of raw at this position. Before the beginning of the season, I was looking at a lot of highlights. I was looking at Darrell Revis, Champ Bailey, Rogers Camardi, D'Angelo Hall. I was looking at some of the corners that I thought that, you know, were good, and not only in college, but also in the NFL. And I just tried to put all their highlights together and put it into my game, and just try to make that transition. Like I said, it was only my first year, so I really was nervous out there. I was trying things that I've never done before, and it was just something that I tried to do. And I as far as patenting my game out to anybody, it would just be all those athletes, you know, that have been playing at the next level at a high rate. And I don't know who I'd really compare myself to. Everybody's comparing me to Richard Sherman, just because of the height and, you know, all the numbers. And obviously he's the most productive corner right now in the NFL. But he plays a lot of zone, and we play a lot of man at Utah. So I can't really say that, you know, we're a lot alike.
I know Utah is represented pretty nicely in the NFL today, Keith. Has anybody, whether they went to Utah or not, given you any advice on what to expect at the next level?
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of the Utah guys that have been in the league, and you know, I've had some conversations with obviously Eric Weddle, because I played safety before, and you know, it's just understanding that it's a job now, and you know, you don't want the guy above you or below you to outwork you. So you always have to work, whether that's being at 6:30 in the morning or whether that's being at 6:30 at night. You don't want anybody to outwork you, and you don't want anybody to get better than you when you didn't do anything that day.
Let's say there's an NFL general manager out there listening to this very interview. Why should he want Keith McGill, cornerback out of Utah, on his team?
Because I'm nothing but upside. I'm nothing but potential, and I feel that when I do make the transition and I do get a couple years under my belt at corner, which this year was my only first year, so if I get a couple more years like these guys that have been playing their whole life, I feel like my level on the field and off the field as far as intelligence is really high, and I'm able to grasp the aspect of the game. And you know, I know what it takes to win, and I know how it feels to lose. I like winning a lot, and I feel like I can bring a lot of positivity to the team just coming into whatever team that is.
Keith, the NFL Combine, the Senior Bowl, they both have come and gone. You mentioned the Pro Day that's coming up on March 19th. I got to think this is all like a dream come true to you, man. How are you taking this experience?
You know what, right now it's just a grind for me. Training, going to the Senior Bowl, going to the Combine, now having my Pro Day. And then, you know, obviously following that it'll be private workouts and whatever else comes. But I'll just be waiting for the draft, and I'll be watching like everybody else. And when my name gets called, or if it gets called, you know, I think that's when it really hit me, when I'm able to settle down and realize that it was all worth something.
Absolutely. Keith, your future is looking bright, man. I really appreciate you. Before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to say to myself and our listeners?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity, and hopefully we'll be talking more in Chicago.
Hey, sounds great, man. Sounds great. Hey, maybe the Chicago Bears are going to be giving you a look, man. We need some more depth on our secondary.
Hey, give them a call and let them know.
All right, sounds great, Keith. Thank you very much. Take care.
You too.
Thanks for tuning into the CS Podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Please check out all of my past interviews at www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722. Once again, that's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at Chris Shanafelt.